Hello and welcome back to the Wii U 5. You know, I'm not really scared of spiders, but the worst thing is when they hide in your shoe, and then you feel something odd wiggling between your toes, but then you instinctively mush your toes together, unknowingly squashing the spider. The thing is, you don't know you've done that, so you go the whole 8-hour day just spreading the guts around your toes, and you get spider legs stuck up under your toenail. And now you've got to wash it off. With fire! As many know, budget games are almost entirely made up of indie games. Having said that, a lot of indie games don't exercise anything other than simplistic designs, with a large chunk of them focusing on side-scrolling and top-down groundwork. Never Alone is a side-scrolling platformer puzzle game. What sets it apart? It's based on folklore. Let's start by saying that the core of the game is, indeed, a combination of platforming and puzzle solving. Unfortunately, and I hate starting out without positive things to say, neither of these things is particularly well executed. It's not that they're bad or broken, though frame rate dips and stutters can and do result in deaths, more on that later. It's that they're just not executed with any level of polish. You can make it through the game, but not without many moments of exclamation, including occasional frustration with the bola. I understand what they were trying to accomplish with the bola's mechanics, but it makes it unnecessarily unwieldy. Prepare to do some platforming, some light puzzle solving, some getting chased, and some weird deaths. And let me tell you, you'll die often enough that even though death is nothing to laugh at, you might just not be able to help yourself after a while. Furthermore, I can't deny that this game may actually be better played in two-player co-op, as it sometimes feels cumbersome to switch between characters to solve such massively simple puzzles. That, and the AI isn't always the brightest. Like most budget titles, the game won't last you long. Even with moments of exclamation and repeated attempts, I cleared the game well under 4 hours, perhaps even closer to 3. What caused me to lose track of how long I actually played the game was its surprising wealth of cultural background. Remember how I mentioned this game is based off folklore? Well, it contains a wealth of cultural artifacts to look at in high-resolution detail. It also contains a wealth of cultural insights to watch, making this game's content admittedly strike a sort of documentary game balance in the content department. Don't be surprised that for those of you who are cultured or look to understand new cultures, you may get lost in watching these documentaries. Heck, I even suggest it for people who just have an open mind to learning about the world to spend a little time watching these. In this way, despite the game itself not lasting long, I can't fault the content. It's both educational and plentiful in respect to the real-life lore it represents. Unfortunately, outside of those amazing real-life graphics on the cultural insides, I mean, look at the sexy volumetrics on that cloud and the textures and hair on this guy! Even PC can't do this! There are some very real technical issues with the game. I'm talking some very frequent frame rate dips and stutters, and while I can't show late game footage that contains a nearly constant well under 30 frame rate because it'll spoil something, I can show you some early examples of stutters resulting in death. I recognize that this is, much like Child of Light, a problem most likely isolated to the Wii U version's lack of streaming bandwidth both via USB 2.0 or internal storage, which affects the efficiency of streaming assets, and the lower frame rates are more than likely because it's a simple port. Fortunately, looking beyond these issues, the ambience is very well done, and the story sometimes unfolds as narration during gameplay, lending to a sort of storyboard process that reminds you that you are experiencing folklore. I like indie games, I really do. They have a creative freedom to them that, while not necessarily being able to generate more complex gameplay mechanics due to lower budgets, find new ways to entertain you, and on a budget. Never Alone is no exception, acting as more of a documentary game on Alaskan folklore. In this way, it succeeds in assisting those with an interest in the people of the world to get their money and time's worth. However, as a game, it stands rather low on the totem pole of polish with functional but less than stellar gameplay mechanics. Tack on technical issues that may be partially attributed to being on the Wii U that can affect said unpolished mechanics, and it's hard to recommend this for people only looking for a game. I give Never Alone a 7 out of 10. That's it for today. Subscribe for more Wii U content delivered directly to your retinas. I'll see you next time on the Wii U 5.